Hey guys, Dave here with Hiking Buddy here in windy Wyoming. It's a beautiful day to be outside. Now the wind of 10 miles an hour with 22-mile-an-hour gusts would probably deter a lot of people from coming out to hike because, you know, it could be cold. But you just got to wear the right clothing and get prepared. So watch these tips and tricks on this next video and you'll enjoy beautiful days like this and not worry about the wind. Have fun out there and stay warm. Hey guys, yeah, it's windy in Wyoming, but hey, wind is not just here, it's everywhere. Even if you're at the beach or anywhere in between the beach and the Rockies where I'm at, wind is a thing. If you're outside, we're not in a bubble, we're not in an enclosure, and I don't think anybody really likes the wind, right? It's annoying, it hurts your ears, it burns your face, blows dust in your eyes, so it's a nuisance, but it doesn't stop me and other enthusiasts, hopefully like you, from getting out. You know, we want to stay fit and healthy, and that's my gym, is the outdoors. So I'm not going to let a little bit of wind deter me. And hopefully this video will show you that you don't have to be deterred, right? There's plenty of gear, and that's what I'm going to show you today is what will make it comfortable for you to hike in the wind so that you can go out any week of the year like I do. So the three things we're going to help you protect from wind is your head, your hands, and your body. So we'll be talking headwear, handwear, and coats. All right, first let's talk about headwear. This is probably the most complex one, and I've got so many options here in front of me to demonstrate for you. But going back to our previous demonstration about just outerwear in general and those base layers, that polyester and wick-away material is your friend. Anything touching your skin needs to be polyester. It wicks away the moisture and it's still breathable, so it still cools you. So that is going to be the key to anything touching your head. First, I'll start with just a hat, okay? I wear this if it's warm outside, warm-ish, and I don't want things covering my neck and face. I just need something to catch the sweat, that's lightweight, and this is a polyester wick-away hat. It's also a UV protection hat as well, which a lot of polyester is. So that's my lightweight one. Don't go with cotton, don't go with wool. These are too heavy duty. This will trap in the heat and will make you miserable. It'll be a sweat, it'll be a sponge. So get rid of the cotton, stick with the wicking away hat as your kind of base head covering, especially if you don't have hair like me. I'm dripping sweat. So that's what I need. Next, if you want more coverage, if the wind's getting a little nasty and you're just cold all around your neck, then overall protection, and this is going to be one of the two main recommendations I have, is get this guy. Okay, this is called a balaclava. Now, it's a weird name. It looks or sounds like baklava, like the Greek dessert. But it's not. This is a head covering, head, neck, face, and it does an awesome job covering everything, your ears, your whole back of your neck, except for your eyes. We'll get into eyes in a second. This is the base minimum of the one of two things you'll need, okay? Balaclava. Yeah, it's a weird name. These things are pretty inexpensive, and this is polyester and a little bit of spandex. So it's going to be like 90% polyester and a little bit of spandex to make it stretchy so you can fit on your head. I actually carry 3 of these. And all this stuff I'm showing you, it's in my car. It's going to the trailhead with me. And I decide what I pick based on the conditions at the trailhead, because it could be a half-hour drive, 3-hour drive from my home to the trailhead. Conditions and maybe drastically different. So that's my lightweight one. Super thin, almost so thin you can kind of see through it. Right? So you don't need heavy, don't have layers. Very lightweight, just ball it up, shove it in your pack, you're good to go. Next one is just a heavier version. This one has a little bit of a fleece lining in it, just an ultra light fleece. So this is my mid-weight. I have the lightweight and then a mid-weight one. I actually use this most often than the light one. I don't know why. I just prefer, this is my favorite one. And it's a little larger. You know, some of them do come in different sizes. So it's just a little bit bigger. I think it gives me more neck protection. but it doesn't really cover the eyeball socket as good as the lightweight one. So, it's find the best one that works or get a couple of them. They're so cheap and they're so lightweight, go for it. Now, as you probably saw as I was putting this on, maybe your head gets hot, but you still want to protect your neck and your face. Well, there we go. It could just convert that way. Yeah, it looks a little goofy, but who cares, right? Or if you're just hot here and you want to pull it down temporarily, go there. Or if you just want covering of your mouth and not your ears. So it's pretty versatile and allows a lot of flexibility of coverage around your whole head. Balaclava, weird name, great product. And I even have a heavier duty one. This is when I'm going in 10 degrees, sub-zero weather. This is heavy fleece, 2-3 layers to it, a really thick one. So that is ultra critical. Next, I'm going to tell you what not to wear. Don't wear stocking caps, okay? These things are meant for you sitting around a campfire or walking, briefly in the woods. This has a nylon exterior. It's meant to keep in the heat and moisture. This will turn into a sponge and this will just make you miserable and sweaty. So stocking caps are horrible. Don't wear this hiking. Nylon is the exterior shell and that will keep in all the heat. It doesn't wick away and it doesn't breathe at all. So don't put these in your pack. Don't wear those. Wear polyester on your head. And for the love of God, don't have a scarf that's wool or some other thick material. Way too thick. You don't need this hiking. This is for sitting and doing no activity. This will just make you miserable. So other ones that I have that I rarely use in my pack are full neck gaiters. This is called a gaiter. And this is just a big piece of polyester. It's in like a tube format. Okay, it looks pretty goofy. And it just kind of covers your lower half, your neck and your mouth. And you could even kind of wrap it up on your ears, even though it's kind of weird. I just haven't found a fit for this, and I don't ever use it. I don't even put it in my pack. There's a heavier version of it. Now, if you have a lot of hair, maybe this makes sense where you don't want it covering your bald head like me. But again, I need the head coverage most of the time. So that's why I like the balaclava better than the face and neck gaiter. This one's a little thicker. It's got a little fleece inside of it. So this would be a 10 degree kind of an application. Again, I don't use those, but maybe you'll find the right fit. This thing I bought years ago just as a face neck cover. I don't like it. I should probably donate it. Some people probably do, but I can't seem to get it to stay on my face. It always slides down like here, and I'm gonna end up walking like that, and just, it's silly. So I don't know. They sell these. Again, you try it on, see if you like it. Maybe it's a perfect fit for you. Again, if you have bushy hair or you don't want things covering your face, this is good for just your mouth and your neck. I actually do carry this on really windy days. Even if I have my balaclava on, it still could penetrate that thin polyester, but I don't want to put on a heavier one, or I don't want to put my hood up. This little guy I just bought at Walmart. You can get anywhere. It looks pretty silly, but it's lightweight. It's just got a little fleece lining and some nylon exterior. So this is kind of my, hey, in case my ears are really cold, or if I don't want to wear the balaclava. I want to just go bald head and it's a sunny day, or I'm sweating, but my ears are cold. So this gives you just options. My ears are cold, but everything else is fine. Okay, I don't even know what we call this, just ear muffs, right? Ear covers. Yeah, those are great. So we've covered every part of the head except for the eyes. Eyes are important, especially on really windy days. Dust, debris, snow, rain, whatever may be blowing. Sunglasses work great. I'm not a sunglass expert. Pick your favorite ones. I like the sporty style ones because they don't get in the way. They're not too big. So don't even care what brand you use, but that's an easy way to protect your eyes from flying stuff and the wind too, because it can hurt getting that cold wind in your eyeballs. And then my ultra heavy duty would be goggles. So ski goggles, I do bring these in my pack because especially in the winter, it could be 5 degrees in the blowing wind, and I've got icicles forming on my eyelids. So I wear this regularly because I just don't want my eyes freezing over. So again, lightweight, versatile. It's for skiers, snowboarders, snowmobilers. I'm sure you guys have that. You could find these anywhere. Same with sunglasses. So guys, that covers the headwear. Now let's move on to hand protection. All right, guys, let's protect those hands because, yeah, you're walking around, and if you're like me, you use trekking poles, okay? And my hands are exposed, and the wind, man, it just hurts to have cold fingers, and then they get numb, and then you're miserable, right? It's ruining your experience. So again, I carry 3 levels of protection for my hands as well as my head: a light, a medium, a heavy duty, depending on the wind and how extreme it is out there. Light duty gloves, again, polyester, wicking away material. That's the majority of what they're made out of. Don't get wool, don't get cotton, don't get heavy fleece lined ones for your light duty one. This is the one I use 90% of the time. Now, this one has little grippies on here, if you could see it. Okay, it would help me grab my pole and grab other objects. It also has a little felt tip on the inside, which makes it easier to touch the responsive to the smartphone. But we're not supposed to be using our phone when we're hiking, so you don't really need that, but it does come in handy if you need to look at your app or something. You don't have to take off your glove. It'll just press right on your phone. So lightweight gloves, polyester. And again, and then there is the mid-weight, right? I've got a little heavier duty one. It actually said windproof on the packaging, and it's legit. It is windproof. It does have a rubberized grip. Helps me grabbing my pole or pack or whatever. This I'll use if we're in the 20s, the 10s. And then when we start to get to single digits and sub-zero, then I'm pulling out the ski gloves, snowmobile gloves, and these are, PVC or whatever, polyester internal, and then nylon and probably acrylic. This is much more heavy duty, waterproof, and got a lot of fleece lining in it and cotton material for warmth. So really heavy duty warmth, but rarely will use this unless I'm doing the Arctic, snowshoeing and hiking and whatnot. So hands are pretty simple. Hopefully that helped with that. Okay, last section, we've covered head and hands. Now it's talking about our body, right? And going back to my previous video about your base layers, assuming you've watched that and you've got your correct base layers on, now we're just going to add to that when it gets too windy and it's blowing through your base layers and you're getting a chill. Okay, again, polyester is our friend. Get the thinnest polyester jacket you can imagine. Okay, this one is ultra lightweight. It's so thin you could almost see through it, but it's breathable. So it won't make me sweat to death. It will block most of the wind. If I'm in 20-mile-an-hour wind, this thing will block it. This thin layer is the difference between me being extremely miserable and frozen and warm and comforting. So this is the second piece that I want you to buy. Buy the balaclava, okay, the light version of it, all polyester, and buy a windbreaker that is all polyester. Ideally, you get one with a hood, because now this doubles as head protection or a second level of head protection. I wish mine had tie strings, zip strings. It doesn't. So they kind of bothers me. If I have this zipped up, it may blow open, and it does that sometimes. I have another one that has zip ties. So that's my only preference. And also pockets. Pockets are great. That is a secondary hand protection. If you're not buying gloves, then just put your hands in your pocket, and this little lining here of polyester will protect you from the wind. So this is the second most important thing. Get that balaclava and get the lightest weight windbreaker you can, and that's your 2 investments. Now, if the wind's really crazy, or maybe you got a little blowing rain and a couple of snowflakes flying, then you want to go with kind of a raincoat. This is the next level. This is going to be polyester on the inside and then nylon on the outside, which makes it weather resistant. So for water, it's not weatherproof, but it'll get you through a light rainstorm and things like that. And this will stop wind. If it's 30, 40 mile an hour out there and I'm getting blown around, I will put on this thing and it will stop the wind. But it won't heat me up because it's not fleece lined. It doesn't have cotton. It's not layers. It's still pretty thin, but the exterior is nylon. So that's the key to stopping wind and also retaining heat. Nylon is not breathable, and that will keep you warm when it's super windy and cold out. And then, of course, the most extreme one would be the ski coat. If I'm in Arctic conditions and it's 20 below and I'm out there with my goggles on, yeah, then I'll go with my full-blown ski coat, nylon exteriors, several layers. We got fleece, we got polyester. This thing is just so dense, but it's extremely comfortable. So yeah, those are your 3 coat options. Never wear the fleece lining. It's too hot for hiking. Get rid of that. Get rid of sweaters, hoodies. Don't need those. Stick with small, thin layers and just layer up, just like we covered in the earlier video about layering. Okay, guys, now you're probably curious of brands. What do I recommend? I'm old school. I stick with ones that have worked for me, and the products I've been showing you, I've had for 5, 10, 20 years because I choose name quality top brands like Columbia, North Face, even REI's brand that they have, and other ones that I've shown, Nike, New Balance, even Carhartt was my mid-tier glove, Under Armour. So any name brand is going to be probably the same. Just look for the material. Polyester is the key, spandex for balaclava. So those are the brands I go with, but really any brand works. Just try not to get the offshoot brand at Walmart, okay? That's the only thing I would deter you from. Go into an actual sporting goods store, okay? If you want to pay full retail and you don't mind buying brand new, go into a legit sporting goods store, REI, Cabela's, all those guys. Or if for the smart, savvy shopper, go to a used sporting goods store. Like here in Cody, Wyoming, we've got OAR, stands for Outdoor Adventure Revisited. They take gently used outdoor gear and clothing gear, and they resell it for dirt cheap. So try and go to a used store first. If you don't find what you have, then go to the retailer and buy new. But stick with a known brand, and you'll be good to go. And then last segment of this video is going to be covering my weather apps and wind apps. Yeah, there are wind apps out there like Windy and Wind Compass and also WeatherBug. Those are the 3 that I'm going to review here in a second. And we'll show you how they can predict weather and predict the wind, believe it or not. So what the conditions will be like tomorrow, the next day, next week, so you could be best prepared and have a comfortable, enjoyable hike, even in the wind, whether it's Wyoming or wherever you're at. So thanks for watching this, and hope to see you out there. You know who to call if you need a buddy. Have a great day.